Hey guys, so I want to make a video on prismatic evolutions and kind of my strategy on how to deal with it in this bull market. Um, it's kind of different than normal. Like everyone knows that it will probably be a pretty good set based on the cards. The cards look really nice. It doesn't seem to be like a bad set in general. Like how well it will do overall, people don't know, but like it doesn't like you know there's it's not like a Shining Fates or a um, Pokemon Go or Detective Pikachu or whatever. Like those sets have remained stagnant for a while. But I did want to look at some of the data to just compare it to some other sets, just to kind of inform my decision. And just kind of what I remember from the last bull market, because that's kind of where like a lot of my memories are. I don't really know about the other one so far as much. Like I hear stories about it, but I'm just a little more aware of that past data. But I think there's still a good amount of data, and the advice kind of differs if you're a collector or investor. But in general, I would say if for holding long term, or even if you're not fully planning on holding long term, like I would say if you're buying above MSRP or like a good amount, like maybe like $5 or $10 above MSRP, maybe it's not too bad. If you're buying like more than that, I would say probably have a selling strategy to sell kind of soon. Like I say quote unquote as soon as possible, because like some UTBs have gone up to like 200, 300, $400. Somewhere along, I don't know 400, but somewhere in that range, somewhere in 200, $400. And so like you see Prismatic right now for going for $100. And so like in some cases, yeah, that is a buy. And that's a common occurrence in bull markets where like, hey, if you look at the graphs, you can clearly see like the historical data. Hey, so this was the peak. Even though like searching sparks booster boxes, even if you buy 160, like at the current moment, like when it was 160, if you bought 160, technically you could have made money. It because right now it's like 210, 220, something like that, minus fees and whatever. Um, but there's always risks to that because like it's only go up so high, and you can only do it for so long. And at some point, someone's gonna buy at the peak, and they're gonna have some issues selling or whatever. Unless they do have a strategy, like a rip and ship or whatever. Um, but yeah, like the reason I say like you want to like hold at MSRP or quote unquote hold is that like at some point like there's gonna be a reprint, and demand's gonna decrease, and even if it's only short term, because we're like 151 30 TBs, if I could find it, um like 151, like it's still technically in reprincipled territory, um but um like you can see like. And then like the statistics are also kind of weird because like this was around the bear market period, but like a year ago they were selling for about MSRP. Like I think MSRP is about 50, and you could buy a TCG player pretty easily for 47. And then it's hard, but even in this whole range over here, you could get it for like less than $60. I don't know, maybe taxes a little more. And then now it's 1 to 21, and that's probably because these ETBs they're a little more like 151 is really popular, but ETBs in general for 151 have been kind of scarce. It's easier to get like the other stuff, um, and yeah, until there's like a reprint or whatever, that seems to be kind of the case. There's a little premium for that, and also like the design is really good. Like it has a lot of good things going for it, honestly. Like there's some pretty bad looking ETBs. Like this isn't perfect, but I think it looks pretty good. Um, and then as far as selling strategy, um, if it's online, it's kind of easier because like then you kind of sell a little. Like let's say you did have a store, and then like if you just like it's a ETB selling at like 150 and you put it at 120, it'll sell pretty quickly. So like you can it'll be a little more like a stock where like um if you know where the peak is and you just sell it before and someone will buy it like instantly. Versus Pokemon cards don't exactly work the same way unless you do have the mechanics or you're willing to pay fees or lower price to do that. A lot of people like to sell online. A lot of people like to sell locally or try to sell locally, like Facebook Marketplace or groups or whatever. And that could work too, but like just know that like you're not gonna be able to time the market as easily sometimes, because you're not necessarily gonna be able to find sellers. So technically it ends up boiling down to how quickly you can find sellers or buyers, or I guess buyers, and so like that has to be taken into account. Like for um, even if like let's say if the price dips in March, then maybe you have to think about selling in January, even though the price is a little lower because you might not be able to find a buyer for like a month or two, that kind of thing. Um, and I would say whatever you do hold, I'd say be picky about your products. Um, because there's some products better than others. Like I told you for like Scarlet for 151 ETBs, the 151 ETB is worth more than the other things. And like there's a big parallel. I think they did kind of the same thing they did with 150 with 151, or they repeat these products like the tech sticker collection, the booster bundles, and so like in general, like what do people like? Booster bundles are really popular. Those do pretty well. ETPs people don't generally like. It is a thing that has like kind of the most sales, but it's kind of because it's kind of the most well-known product, I'd say. But ETPs in general have like terrible value usually, um, or like maybe you want to hold in these tens. Like the more scarcer, the more desire the product people want. Like these other products, they're more just for packs. Like these free pack stuff. Like they're usually like they're I'm gonna say only about double MSRP because like they're just like people don't really like people aren't going to go in 5 years like, oh, I really want the tech sticker. Like you want to sometimes go for the common thing. Like that's why people choose PSA over other things. Like you want to go for what's actually popular sometimes. But you sometimes you never know. Like yeah, I'd be choosy with the products. Okay. Um, like if there's an ultra premium collection, sometimes those will do really well. But there's only kind of two examples of that. Okay. Anyway, so why am I saying all this? So now I want to go into some of the data. So I want to compare. I want to look at the data for past specialty sets, and if you guys don't know what a specialty set is, like so I have the list of um, kind of English that's ever been released, and then like you'll see main series expansion or special expansion. Which honestly, the main difference that people care about is that main series expansions have like a booster box, so you can buy a 36 booster box, and then the non ones have only ETBs. Like there's no booster, or at least there's no booster box. So like it'd be like I'd really love a booster box of 151, but like honestly, it's kind of a gimmick in my opinion because like they raised the price per pack to like $5 a pack. And you can't get booster boxes. It's hard to get products, so you kind of just buy a lot. I feel like you just buy a lot extra product you don't really want. Like who wants like if you want to buy like open 100 packs of 151, who wants to like open like 10 ETBs? Like I'd rather just like, get three booster boxes. And that's kind of why booster bundles are there. So booster bundles are nice like as a new thing, but it's more of a more recent thing. There were booster bundles in the packs. So in the past, you just buy like collection boxes or ETBs and kind of suck it up. Um, so, but yeah. So especially sets, I just went back to like the last eight or so. And that does span like quite a bit of time. Like Hidden Fates, is in the Sun and Moon era, and you have the Sword and Shield ones, and then now you have Scarlet Violet. So just look at the cards. The ones that do well, like Hidden Fates, is still is like I okay. I'm gonna classify doing pretty well as like the price is like well above MSRP, like at least double or whatever. And there's time and stuff with that, but also like looking at the cards, you can kind of tell like these cards look kind of nice. Um, they do have some rainbow rares, and luckily it doesn't have a ton of rainbow rares. Like I don't. This is kind of older art style, but like these are all popular Pokemon. You look at the value. Like this Charizard's very sought after. Umbreon's like Espeon, like these evolutions, like Mewtwo, Greninja. Like these are Endlu cards. These are very nice cards that people want in popular Pokemon. And I'll compare it to the next one, which is Champion's Path, which I've heard about Champion's Path, it being very like not really quite as popular at all, and like it's sitting on like ETBs are very easy to get. And the reason why I'm comparing specialty stats is that Pokemon like prints ETBs like a lot. Um, like the thing is like you notice when you start like getting into Pokemon investing, like what products can you buy? Like booster boxes are not as really available sometimes. Because like the common person can't just get a booster box at like a store or whatever. You have to like actually look for them. Because ETBs, they just it feels like they get infinitely whatever, and they're like the first things to go in clearance or whatever. Um, like I'm not gonna discount that like booster boxes go on like barrel runs and whatever, but it's just a very different thing. And also ETBs just cost more per pack to initially, so like booster boxes are just safer, and booster boxes perform really well in general. Like I looked at Fusion Strike, which is like 350, and a booster box now, and then like the ETB was like 70 or 90, and like it just the growth isn't like worth the cheaper costs. Champion's Path, it suffers from the rainbow rares, but it does have these two Charizards which are chase cards. But the rainbow rare, since it's a rainbow rare, it's not as valued. And also, this Charizard also appears in Shining Fates, and the Shining Fates one is looks a little better in my opinion. But I guess this one is I guess higher valued. But yeah, the art just looks a lot lackluster. Like these old arts, they look a little too artificial, and that's why we have a lot of the alt art nowadays. And then the rainbow rares are kind of mad, but the Pokemon Charizard, Gardevoir, but then like this, like these aren't really as no one's really looking for these cards. That's why the price drops so significantly after this. So Champions Path is like I'd say it's like okay, but like not the best. Um, Shining Fates. So this is one I know it shot up to like the 200 400 range, but you look at the cards, and it's just like what's in here that's really that great. Like some people say they like these shinies, but it's not that great of a set. If you're looking for a pull, you're really just going for the Charizard, and that's it. Charizard's only worth 100, and I didn't even know this until I made this video today. But Shining Fates on the Pokemon Center was like on there for like the longest time. Like this is a really old box, and like you could just buy it and like since it's sold out, I was like, oh, so what's the current market price? And the current market price of Shining Fates is like still, it's just like it finally shot up a little bit, but it's been at MSRP like for a while. And like if you bought this box at like $100, even like $70, like you're still kind of hurting from it a little bit. Um, and so this is an example of one of the poorer sets. And like so you can at this point like people kind of see that like it's not too hard to see like some sets that are kind of just worse. And like when you look back, you're like, oh, how did no one see this? But yeah, like that's why like some of the even though Shiny Face is going for a lot of money, it's like it's more of a short term play. And so like if I had to rank it, like, I'd say like Prismatic is definitely better than Champion's Path, which is doing okay right now. And then it's better than Shining Fates, Hidden Fates. Um, I'd say like there's more room for argument in there at a minimum. Like which one's better or whatever, because it's that has a lot of nice arts, it has a lot of nice Pokemon. Um, Prismatic, like I can see why people say it's better, but like compared to these two, it's like no contest, no contest with this, no contest with this. Um, some question here, Hidden Fates, Celebrations. It's kind of a weird thing because it's a bunch of reprints of the older arts. Um, this has been lagging, but it's also like not so the price was kind of stagnant for a while, but it never really crashed. I feel like at least like it never went like below MSRP. Um, and yeah, but I remember celebrations ran up a lot during the bull market, and then like at some point you just get at like like eBay or Walmart or whatever. I mean like Best Buy or Walmart or something, and you get MSRP, and I was like, oh what? Because it's very hyped. Like I remember like celebrations of Voice guys were both hyped, and yeah, people thought like celebrations would do the best, but that wasn't really the case. Of Voice guys was the clear winner. Um, and I don't really know why Pokemon Data does this, but these are other cards. Not so Pokemon Go. This is a failed set, and it's mostly because the main chase card is just like honestly this Mewtwo, and then there's Rainbow Rares that people don't like, and so it's basically just these four cards. Maybe this what I think Pokemon Go is kind of coming back a little bit, but like yeah, again, I didn't even know. Um, but how is I just thought you could always get Pokemon Center. Um, but yeah, I do see some stuff is sold out. I don't really know what this plus thing. It's just a little different than normally TV. But I look up the normally TB is still like below MSRP because MSRP is like what 50. So like yeah, all these years and Pokemon Go is still bad. So like Pokemon Go is like one of the failure sets. So yeah, it's definitely Strax definitely better than Pokemon Go. Crown Zenith, look at these arts. No one can question that this is not a really good set. People thought the pull rate's really high. The thing with Crown Zenith is that, like I told you, ETBs get printed a lot, and so like even though this is a really nice set, like they just printed a lot of it, and I think that will eventually happen at Prismatic Evolutions. Um, Look at the Crown Zenith ETB, like there was high value for a while, and so this only shows a year. But at some point, yeah, you can get Crown Zenith less than MSRP. And recently they did the Sea and Sky collection, which is a really good deal. Now it's finally climbing back up to above MSRP because Crown Zenith is a strong set, so it's recovering like it's worth more than Pokemon Go Shine Fates. Like rightfully, it's a good set. But yeah, like as far as investing goes, like why like don't hold at the seven even if it goes back to 70. Like I wouldn't necessarily hold there. Um, like 70, I guess maybe. But like anything above 70, I'm just kind of iffy about. But I'd be more comfortable just getting it when it is back at MSRP. Um, and 151, Like it's one of the best sets ever. Um, yeah, I'm not even gonna like it could Prismatic could be a 151. It could be like one of those really good sets. But as you saw, like even when, like it's kind of hard to judge because 151 happened during the bear market, but it's just one of the greatest sets ever. So um, Palladium Fates. Now we're getting more recent stuff like these three cards. Like I thought they were undervalued, and yeah, they shot up a lot recently. But the Palladium Fates will probably get some more supply. Like Pokemon, like we don't really know the future, but it at least has these three good cards. Other than that, like the cards are kind of meh. Like I guess like people want these shinies for this. I guess it has some other good value, but really the main things that I think people look for are these three cards, especially these two. Gardevoir looks nice too, but like people when they hear Mew and they hear Charizard, like it's a little above Gardevoir. Um, Shroud Fable, this is what everyone like really hated, but the cards are actually holding up in value. Actually, I've heard Shroud Fable is kind of a safe play nowadays, because at the price point. And then just look at like Terrestrial Festival, which is prismatic. Like the cards just really look nice. Compared to Evolving Skies, like I think I still like Evolving Skies more to some extent. It kind of varies. Like this has the more modern art, but some of these EV arts are kind of like Umbreon looks okay. I like the Moonbreon more. Sylveon looks nice. Eevee, I think I like the other Eevee more. This other Eevee, I don't really like that much. This Flareon looks a little to me. Um, Leafeon looks kind of nice. Espeon looks kind of nice. Yeah, this Jolt, like these two EVs look kind of mid to me. And then I think they did the original EVs like kind of meh. But yeah, so okay, so why did I go through all that? So the really bad sets, like it's not a really bad set, so I don't think it's gonna flounder like a Shining Fates or Pokemon Go. Um, but even really good sets have been reprinted enough for the price has bottomed out like Crown Zenith. I don't really know the history of Hidden Fates, um, but yeah, like Celebration is very hyped up. It got like reprinted. 151 got enough stock for a while, so like we are in a new era of Ripper Shippers, but like yeah, just to go over like I'd sell probably if I could get Prismatic for above MSRP or significantly above MSRP. I'm not really willing to pay the crazy prices unless like I'd only pay these prices if like I really want to risk it. Like I just had some position or I had money. Maybe if I got a good deal on like these mini tins or whatever. But yeah, like I'd have to be really confident to be able to sell it later on, which some people do. I don't, so that's a thing. Um, yeah, I think I looked for this, but I couldn't find. So maybe I just imagined it. But I heard that there might be like an ultra premium collection, and so that's a factor because like the only ultra premium collections I know about that actually have like just the packs of that thing. Like there's a Charizard one I think, but it doesn't. There's no like Charizard packs that just come in it. Like the Celebrations one just has celebrations. It has some other packs too, but like there's a lot of celebrations. And also they did the cool thing where they add extra packs. So it was actually pretty good value back in the day at MSRP, and then 151 just has like the 151 packs, and like these are like they tend to hold value a little better. They're a little more rare. Like ETBs, I just feel like they get printed so much. Like no one really likes ETBs, and that they have them at like the big box stores. Like even the normal people can get them. Like the ultra pure collections are hard to get, but you can still get them. I don't think the sticker collections and whatever will hold that much long term unless there's some really nice art that I'm missing. Um, Booster bundles like if you get the MSRP like long term hold, like I think they'll do great. Like 151 booster bundles in the sense that like people like booster bundles and they're just really easy to store. Like like Krause booster bundles sometimes better buy those because you can just buy a lot of them and just hold them versus the CSI boxes were so enormous. ETBs for Krause are pretty big. Surprise boxes they're their own specialty thing, but yeah, if there's other products that come out, which there are, I look into those. But yeah, product selection is pretty important. Pricing is pretty important. Selling, trying to take advantage of the market share. I would say don't leverage because if you do need to hold, then you don't want to sell out to at a loss. And yeah, so that's kind of my strategy with Prismatic. Like, um, if I get anything MSRP, like I think it's an instant buy. Um, at least at this moment, and then try to like make some profit. If you're a collector, like you kind of just need to budget. Like if you can get lucky on the drops where it's MSRP, that's great. But like you might just buy singles or just wait until the price drops because it's gonna happen. But if you just have money, then like what am I telling you? You don't care. Like just buy whatever you want. Um, and yeah, long term Prismatic should do pretty well. I don't know how if it'll price drops or price spikes or how well it'll do in general, but like it's a good set. The cards are good. We haven't even seen all of it yet. But anyway, that's it for me. Have a good day. Bye.